Well, hello and welcome back for me for a holiday, and we went down for a cruise. I'll get into that a little bit about the cold, a little bit about the states, and just people. I guess the longest thing will be the cruise we went on. We left January 10th. I don't usually like announcing it. I always have a fear maybe somebody might, I don't know, rob the place or something, so I don't announce it. So, anyways, we did a family cruise. I think this is our fifth one. We did a honeymoon back in 2010, and then the last we did one before the holidays. We did or before the holidays. Sorry. Before COVID, we did one in 2020, a Disney cruise that was pretty good. And then the last 3 years, we've done a Royal Caribbean cruise. I would never do a January cruise again to the Bahamas. That was fucking cold. Like, I don't know what was going on. Like, I mean, cold was 21, 22, but you're expecting a little bit of hot. So give you the whole breakdown. So we went down, flew down Air Canada, took the family. BC girl, who I said was coming, she flew from BC, from Chilliwack, and met us at Toronto. We waited a little bit, and next thing you know, we were headed to Miami on the January 10th. Got there, stayed in the hotel close to the airport. It wasn't the best hotel, but it was okay. Next day, headed to the cruise ship, got on, and it was the Icon of the Seas. If you Google that, there's like 6,000 passengers, 2,350 crew members, the biggest cruise ship in the world. It was amazing as far as all the stuff. Now, can this be tweaked and that be tweaked? Yeah, it's not perfect for everybody, but they have amazing shows. They have skating. We skated on that. Imagine that, a Canadian going on a cruise ship down to Saint Martin, and we skated. So they have an ice show. They have a classic rock band, which is really good. They have comedians, which is really good. They had Wizard of the Oz, a theatrical performance. Now I am not a I didn't like it that much. Let's put it that way. So I've seen the Wizard of Oz 100 times on the TV, and I just get used to that. And this wasn't as good. Everybody has their own opinion. My opinion is it wasn't the best. My wife thought it was okay. Whatever. You different. Everybody has different opinions. That's the way it is. So we headed down. We Miami board. There was like 7 cruise ships in Miami. The Miami port there. It was just insane the amount of cruise ships. They had Virgin, MSN, Carnival, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean. Of course, we are the biggest ship, so wasn't cheap, but it was good. Would I do it again? I don't know. If you want any cruise advice, just talk to me. I'll let you know different things, or you can listen to this podcast and I'll let you know that I'd be a cruise advisor. So just definitely don't go to the Bahamas and Miami in January because, as we talked to one of the guys that was working in the Bahamas, said this is our winter, and usually March to August is their summer. And last year we went March break. We didn't want to go March break this time just because the kids missed. My daughter has a lot of dance. My other daughter has a lot of hockey. Just missing stuff like that. It's more expensive, more people. But we did have warmer weather. So we headed out of Miami, sailed for 2 days in the sea, went to Saint Martin, which, if any not been to Saint Martin, it's a freaking gorgeous, like, just gorgeous island. There's half Dutch, half French island owned, and the beaches are great. We did a little Rhino Rider, they call it, and it's like a tube boat, and you get on, and you do a steering wheel, and so you're going around. So the first thing we did, we poured with our cruise ship. Usually you cruise at night, and you wake up in the morning, and next thing you know, you're at the port. So it's kind of cool that way. So we're sitting in the port. We have an ocean view balcony. Anybody that goes on a cruise ship, if you don't get an ocean view balcony, you are missing it a lot, because I love just standing there at night, looking at the ocean. In the daytime, you go to port, you just wake up, and there you are. So the first thing we see is Jerry Jones's yacht, and it is, I think we Googled it, $225 million yacht. So Saint Martin is known for its yachts, and there was hundreds of yachts all around. We only saw the one part of the island. So we get out, we take a tour bus to these Rhino Riders. You go around the country, a 2-lane road, busy city. I don't know why. It would have took 5 minutes to go by boat taxi, but they took us on I guess that'd be more expensive than a van. Took the van, 2-lane road, get there. Drivers are crazy. There's no traffic lights, all roundabouts. Like, there's no traffic lights to be seen. Just give me a coffee break here. There's no listeners today. I guess I haven't been here for a week, but I'll get into that after. and I did a coffee break. So you get these Rhino Riders, like inflatable little boats. So my daughter and son and myself went on these boats, and you drive out. We went out to this Maho Beach, I don't know, something like that, where the planes take off. Google that too. All these people stand by the fence. The planes take off. It literally blows you away from the fence, and the jet engines are so big because they have to. I guess it's a short runway, and they have to get up steam and just go up. If you see them, they just take off like almost straight in the air. And so we were sitting out on boating around, floating around on these Rhino Riders out in the ocean, waiting for a couple planes to arrive, and they didn't at that time. So we only had a limited time. Went to another beach, crystal blue waters. It was just an outstanding island. Then on our way back, traffic was busy, so this driver was flying. Like it was pretty amazing how he was flying so much. But that was what we did. And then every meal on the ship is outstanding. Anybody who's been on cruise ships knows that is the major thing of cruise ships is the meals, the food. Windjammer Restaurant, if Ilya and Woodbridge Court, he said if you go on Royal Caribbean, the meals in the Windjammer, excuse me, unedited, are freaking awesome. So you get every morning cut ham. I got a piece of cut ham, and I got an omelet made for me every single morning. Coffee, just amazing stuff. Now, anybody say good for me, but every single morning on the cruise ship, I woke up early because they wake up early anyways. Facts, Porcupine Podcast. How are you? You're on. Thanks for listening. I was worked out every single morning of the cruise ship. So I think my goal was not to gain weight. So last year I went on the cruise ship and I gained 12 pounds on a cruise ship because you eat like crazy. You don't have any self-control. So this year I said, fuck it, I'm going to have self-control. I worked out every morning on the bike, on a elliptical, did some weights, and I think I gained like 2 or 3 pounds. So that's pretty good. And I worked out every morning, got a sweat going. It helped me in my day. A little more energy, a little more stamina. It was pretty good that way. So it worked out. They have a crazily great gym. Every new tech equipment you want, bikes, ellipticals, everything, the weights. It was kind of funny because you go work out the first day or two, not that many people, or sorry, there's a lot of people, and then when you get into the cruise a little bit, the less and less people are working out. So, and there's a couple muscle guys. I'm thinking to myself, I said, how would you get steroids into the cruise ship? But just that was my brain thinking because these guys are jacked. Like they look like they're on something. I've always tried to get a little bit of muscle on me, and I guess I did used to get big a little bit, but not like jacked like that, veins popping and stuff. So maybe they weren't. Maybe it was natural, but who knows? But so worked out every day. Breakfast, crazy. We had different things every day. St. Thomas. So we stopped in Saint Martin, got out of there, went to St. Thomas. And if you don't know, these are like the Virgin Islands. You go to Florida, Miami, and then you go down Bahamas. Under that, it's Jamaica. But if you keep going to the southeast on the cruise ship, you hit Saint Martin, St. Thomas, Tortolo, all those beautiful Caribbean countries. And just now the negative of the Caribbean countries is they do have hurricanes. And I was talking to the one guy in Saint Martin, and he said, no matter what you do, there's going to be a hurricane. Like whether it misses you or it comes through, there's always a hurricane. I think it was 2000 and you have to Google that too. 2017, they had a massive hurricane. It wiped out everything. It decimated the country. They built it up since then, but it's not real good when you have a mad. So he says it's not that you're going to or not going to have a hurricane. A hurricane's coming. It's just whether it's going to go around the island or hit the island or how much damage. So that's the negative. But when you go in January, there's no hurricane. So September is hurricane month, and did not have one. So we went up to St. Thomas, a little cooler, but we didn't do any excursions in St. Thomas because our time was cut short. I don't know why. Maybe there was a storm coming. You don't ask the captain that much, or you don't talk to the captain. So we only stayed to 1:30. Got off the ship, looked at all these little trinkets. It was funny because my daughters and BC girl came with me, and they wanted these little bracelets, and they're made 10 cents China. They make them in China for 10 cents. and they want $5 American, which the American Canadian dollar it's a little more favorable for the Americans right now for their dollar, and it usually is, but right now it's really shitty. So $5 for this bracelet. So I thought I'd haggle a bit, and I said, will you give me a deal on two? I said, what would you get, like $3 for each for two, so six for two. She claps her hands a couple times and says, nope. I said, that's fine. And my daughter was like, kind of cried a little bit, and I'm like, you got to learn. Like, they got a deal. Like, if they don't want to deal with me, then too bad. They can keep their fucking bracelets. So it was a lesson, and then I go to the casino. My BC girls, well, you go to the casino and gamble. I said, this is not about money. This is about them learning how to negotiate and barter with people, because they shouldn't be charging that much, and they should have a deal. That's the way it is. So, and I got off the cruise. I had a beer down there. I forget what it was called. I took a picture of it, but I forget what it was called. A local beer. I think it was Cario or something like that. So, great beer. And got back on the ship's cruise to the Bahamas. Now, on the cruise from St. Thomas to Bahamas, the ship was rocking. Now, we had a little bit of rocky weather, and if you know this ship, the Icon, it's like 243,000 tons, a massive, massive ship. I think the biggest one ever built. Maybe not one of those container ships, maybe not as big as that, but massive ship, and it was rocking. So when it got rocking, it was like you're still going ahead, but it was rocking. So you look at the horizon where the ocean is, you can see the cruise ship rail going up and down. You're sitting in the pool, and they had a swim up bar on the cruise ship, so we had to get the all inclusive drink package. We're cheap, so my wife got the just one drink package, and she was buying the BC girl and myself drinks all day. I think she did 38 drinks one day. Now you think they'd clue it and say maybe this isn't for her, but I don't know. They didn't say anything. So the cruise ship's going up and waving down, and I never took any gravel on the whole ship. Now that night, my belly was a little bit off, but not too bad. My other daughter threw up, so everybody got a little bit seasick, but they say if you go on a smaller cruise ship and it starts to get rocky waves, you're going to feel a lot more. We didn't feel that much on this cruise ship, so. And went to the casino. There's a casino on every ship, so went to the casino, and I fucking won like close to $1,300 American, which is like $1,800. So, Emmett Foster is on. Good morning, Emmett. Sorry I didn't text you. It was like an impromptu. I want to get this going. Podcast. I got Fax Porcupine. I got Emmett Foster. I haven't seen the mystery on, so I didn't tell him about it, but you'll have to go back and listen to it, Emmett, after. But I'm just getting into the cruise. So I went in the cruise ship, won $1,300. So I'm playing, and one guy said, did you scream? And I said, I didn't. I was kind of like blown away. I've never won. I mean, realistically, if you look at all my life of what I've gambled, I'm not a big gambler. Just like to play a little bit. I don't even think I'm close to being even with that win. So, but it was nice. I hit it, and I looked, and I'm like, what the hell? Just boom, 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 boom. So it was good. So basically, the cruise ship paid for my the drink package, and I had to get the swag. He's in the middle of Herd Health with Swag, the old Swacker. They're listening together. That is just the sweetest thing ever. My beef cows are doing good, and I just want to get back. So I just got back from the cruise. Swag. It was a great cruise. I said I would not go to a cruise in January, especially the Bahamas. I would probably go a little farther. They say you can fly to Puerto Rico and then go down farther, and you're going to hit the warm weather all the time. But going to Miami, I think it was 21, 22 degrees. Bahamas, I think the friggin' cold was like, I think the water was like 65 or 70. I don't know. It was fucking freezing. And I said there's another guy, and he says, oh, just come in the water. In a half hour, your body's numb. You don't feel it anyways. I said, holy shit. And then the lifeguard's looking at me because I'm kind of walking in gently through the stairs. And then I gave him a symbol of like shrinkage on my hand, and fuck, did he ever laugh? It was, I'm like, holy crap, it was cold, but don't go on a cruise in that time of year. So went to the Bahamas. Now Royal Caribbean and Norwegian have their own islands in the Bahamas. It's called Coco Cay, and it's a great island. In March, it was amazing because it was hot and it was outstanding, and your drink package works on the island. And you go on the beach, but the water was cold in March. I remember that too last year, but this year extremely cold. And then, so I said, not many people got off the island. They have a water park there, but Royal Caribbean has their own dock, like a platform dock. Where Norwegian, now my buddy from Nobleton there, Jason Peeler, nice name, and he went on Norwegian, and Norwegian docks in the middle of the ocean, just anchor down, and then they have to boat all the people to the island, and then for the day. But like it was so friggin', it was a shitty rainy. It started to thunder at the end of the day. It rained, and we were looking at the region. So you imagine getting on a boat to go across to the island, Norwegian. It's shitty all day and it rains. Like at least we got off, we toured around, and we got back on the boat. So it was a great day. And remember, I said before, I didn't tell you all the stuff before, but my chicks came on the Thursday when we were gone. So it was shitty as shitty as shitty. Never happened before. But Big Roy, a family member has never not been here when the chicks come, so I was kind of nervous. And so we had Big Roy on the job. He did an outstanding job. I owe him a lot because they didn't want to change the date of the chickens, and it was a lines got communications crossed. Hubie Jen said, well, that's processors, that's chick guys, they fuck you around. And anyways, they came the Thursday and everything it didn't go perfect. There was a little hiccup here and there and everywhere. But when I came back on the Saturday, 2 days chickens in, they were awesome. They were pretty good. They did nothing really major happen. So like I say, little tweaks here and there. Big Roy, owe him a lot. Everybody that knows me knows Big Roy. And my listeners, holy shit in hell, you guys can listen a little bit when I'm not on. Like a week, I looked on my podcast, a week of not being on my podcast, and nobody listens because there's like 2 or 3 people listen. So I said they want the live, they want the updated versions of what is going on. So the other thing too, 7,000 downloads on my podcast. Thank you everybody for listening and everywhere. And I had a bunch of people from the States, but no way that was me. I was listening a couple times to my podcast when I was down the cruise ship. My daughter wanted to listen, so I had a couple podcasts myself. But 7,000 downloads. I don't know how many of this is in the new year, but I am going to keep friggin' doing it because I like doing it. It is great. My district election is coming up the end of the month. I gotta keep calling my farmers on that. I'll let you know how that goes. Dirty Mike, we went out to his daughter plays for the Barrie Sharks, and she didn't play last night, but they played at the Sadlon Arena where the Barrie Colts play. And it's a pretty big arena. I think it holds 4,500 people. So it's kind of cool to see a minor hockey team, minor girls U13 AA playing in a major venue like that. Now, mind you, there was only like 50 people there with parents, but still, it was pretty good. Big ice. And they won. I think they won 5-3, and they won 7-2 the night before. Now, when my daughter was gone, their team did not win. But I text one dad, and I just said, "What did we lose by?" So I knew we were going to lose. The team, as you've known in the past, my daughter's team doesn't have the best team. So, but she missed it. So we came back. It's minus 14 up here today. Fax Porcupine, minus 14. But the rink is frozen. My daughter was skating on the rink last night with her skates, playing hockey, shooting the pucks. That's one bonus. It's in a shed, so it's sheltered. They're spoiled that way. They don't know it, but we don't have anything going on tonight. But hockey tomorrow night, and we start back into it. My daughter had dance last night and everything else. So holy shit! Now 18 minutes, and I'll keep you updated on everything else. There was a breakdown in my chicken barn. There's a fan, so I get everything. I spend like an hour and a half, and then hook it all up, and I turn it on. The motor doesn't work, so it's like, fuck. But anyways, that is the life and the joys of that. So thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, Fax. Thanks, Emmett. We'll talk to you very soon. Oh, wait, Fax is gone. Just Emmett. Get those cows palpated and pregnancy checked, and I hope you have good luck. Emmett, thank you for listening.